Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, aka Railworks. Today, we got another neat, classical treat. This is the SNB D 1/3. Sure, that's not how you describe this, but that's what we're going with. This is a Swiss pack, a really neat early steam locomotive era pack. I believe it's based on, I believe the pack is at least is based on a modern reproduction, but the core locomotive is a class of 2 420s, built around 1847 and retired in 1882. Very early. Top speed of about 30 kilometers an hour-ish. With neither of the originals being preserved. However, as I said, there was a reproduction built. So yeah, that is the information that I managed to garner on it. Fortunately, a lot of it is not in English, so gotta fly with it. However, with the era, what a fitting route to have come out relatively recently to go along with such a pack. I know, this route is not necessarily meant to be for the Swiss, but it just so happens to fit. That is indeed the point in the era, the whole Victorian theme. Although our passengers are a little bit out of place, dress-wise. So you're going to get one singular locomotive. I don't know who made this. To be perfectly honest, I got it from SimiRail. Obviously, I'll put the link in the description as to where you can find this pack. But I don't really know who made it, so just kind of flying along here, going with what I got. But in the pack, you're going to get one singular locomotive, which is what you see here. It is not dynamically numbered nor named. Not really heartbreaking. As I said, there were only 2 of these built, so big whoop, there's only 1 in the pack. But you will also get some passenger coaches to go along with it. A 2 third class closed and open air third class car, a second class car, and a first class car, which I do believe we have third class open, second class, and first class. These characters look very creepy. So, pretty cool. I do believe this is an older pack. I don't think this is newly built. But it looks alright. Just at first glance, everything seems really faded. I don't know if that's just me, but compared to other era appropriate stock, such as our box tanks over here, this whole set here just seems really faded. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it looks absolutely normal to everybody else, but I think it's very faded looking. Yeah. Other than that, though, I actually don't see much issue. It's relatively nicely detailed. I don't know how I feel about the brass coloring. It seems almost too pale. Doesn't seem very brass colored. Actually fairly nicely detailed though. Ew. This is kind of reminiscent of trains with these weird rivet. They're 2D textures, but it's almost like it's like the rivets themselves are extremely low res, while the rest of the model looks really, really good. Like, I mean, even the lines here look really, really good. Nice and crisp. And then you got these rivets, which they don't match that quality, like, at all. Like, the quality was skimped out in certain areas, and that is a very noticeable example. I mean, even these bolts look, you know, they're there. They are 3D modeled bolts. The valve gear inside is modeled. We shall see if it functions. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's modeled all the way up here to the front too. Old candlelight headlamps. Pretty neat. Nameplate looks pretty cool. Overall, a nice model. And of course our rolling stock, the coaches that come with it. Not half bad. A lot of 2D texturing. It's like some things look wacky while other things don't. Overall, I like it. I definitely don't like that. Take it for a spin. Cab view. Got a reverse gear. Actually, reverse on this one is backwards, so that's forward. Throttle. This should be our injector, live injectors. That's our live injector. Don't know what these are. We don't get those. Whistle. Doesn't sound half bad. Oh goodness. Very dated looking fire. However, it is kind of cool that you can click on the fire to get it stoking. And you click on it again and it shuts it off. Yeah, I kind of like that feature. It's kind of nice. Overall, it really doesn't look half bad. I kind of like it. Huh. Oh. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like that. Should be our exhaust injector, as well as the lever for pulling it from the tender, dampers, blower, cylinder cocks, and sander. And that's really it. I mean, it's a pretty simple era. There's not a whole lot going on with these locomotives. Let's see if the valve gear changes on the outside. So where are we at? We're over here. Not very smooth. But the lever does move. The actual valve gear doesn't. I believe all we get's a handbrake. I don't think there's a... Yeah, you get a handbrake. Ah, I love the candles. Kind of get a kick out of those. Don't like the smoke. The dark smoke and the white smoke are inside of each other, so It just kind of it fights with each other. Sadly, the valve gear is not animated at all. Ah, but the cylinder carts are. That's kind of cool. It's not very loud. Chuff-wise, the chuffs are not very loud. It's a fairly quiet locomotive. I don't know how true to form that is. Obviously, I've never seen this model in real life, so I don't know what it's supposed to sound like. But it is fairly quiet. I have a really hard time picturing there being 1,000 pounds of fire. This is one, given its age, that actually does play relatively well with the F4 HUD. Now, obviously, given we only get handbrakes, that's what we gotta use to stop. And you also can't adjust the handbrake. You just gotta click on the handbrake. I would assume you could go with back pressure on these. And there it is. So yeah, pretty neat, pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Kind of sad about the lack of animation for the valve gear. Like everything else is modeled, so one would think your valve gear would be modeled as well, but it is not. So that's a bit odd. However, other than that, I actually think it is a really cool model. A very neat pack overall. Again, I don't know who made it, but I do know where it's available, and as such, I will put the link in the description so that you may go purchase this pack if you so please to. I think it's pretty cool. I think it pairs up pretty nicely with this the Victorian era route that was put out by Fourth's Games, I believe. Salisbury Quarry, which is available on Steam Sound Supreme, but I highly recommend checking it out. I think it's pretty freaking cool. I mean, there's really not a lot of content out there for the Victorian era, really, in any train sim, so this goes in hand pretty nice with with this route and with the Nielsen box tanks overall, just for sake of time period. So definitely go check it out. I think it's pretty cool. I will see you guys next time.